Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. Of course, we are seeing Bitcoin reaching new all-time highs, guys. As of the time of this recording, we're seeing a Bitcoin reach about $72,000 per coin. We haven't seen this yet. Now this is uncharted territories. We did actually see a high reach of almost, $73,000 per coin. And as of the time of this recording, Bitcoin is trading just over 72. So momentum is still very, very positive for the king crypto and, of course, by extension, the rest of the crypto market. And when we get these kinds of events, guys, by the way, I'm going to say the euphoria has not even kicked in yet. We're going to see a lot more of this. But guys, it is beginning. Donald Trump is now making the rounds. CNBC did post this interview with a conversation that they had with the 45th president of the United States, and he talks about Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin as an additional form of currency. Listen to this.
Well, it's taken its own life. I do little things sometimes for fun and, make money with it, but I have fun with it too.
You mean
NFTs,
you bought Bitcoin?
No, but I sometimes will let people pay through Bitcoin, or we'll let people get involved in a new. If you think of it, it's an additional form of currency. And I used to say, I want one currency. I want the dollar. I don't want people leaving the dollar. And I feel that way. But I will tell you, it has taken on a life. I did a thing that people smile at, but it was wild. We did 1,000 sneakers, so limited edition sneaker run. The last one, and you could go through, our crazy new currencies, because that's what I call them. They're crazy, whether it's Bitcoin or others. And so many people were buying these things. And ultimately, the last pair of sneakers sold for approximately, I hear, $450,000. It was a limited edition, a run. They were gold. They were, nice, cute. And we thought it was just a very small thing. It was a branding thing, and had a good time with it. The last pair sold for $450,000. People were going crazy for these sneakers. You probably were too. Everybody was. I have every friend I have has called me for a pair of sneakers. So it just took off, and I noticed that so many of them were paid for with this with the new currency. And it is that it's a new cryptocurrency, and I couldn't believe the amount. And I'm saying, this thing has really, and other things I do, people are using it. And, I would be, I'm very much a traditionalist. I like staying with the dollar. You know that from when I was there. It's make the dollar the choice. I hate when countries go off the dollar. I would not allow countries to go off the dollar, because when we lose that standard, that will be like losing a revolutionary war. That will be a hit to our country, just like losing a war.
All right, I'm going to leave it there. There's about 40 seconds left in this clip of 45th President of the United States, Donald Trump. But he said, cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, additional forms of currencies. He does call them crazy. He did talk a little bit about his NFT collection there, but also about dollar dominance. He doesn't want countries to go off the US dollar. So I wonder what he thinks about countries like El Salvador, for example, or now others that might be following suit. Anyway, an interesting clip here with Donald Trump discussing Bitcoin and cryptos at large. Of course, the real world utility is going to be front and center one day. We're going to get away from the speculation at some point in time, and then the real world utilities will take over, guys. This one from the Wrath of Kahneman, September research article from the International Journal of Islamic Economics and Financial Studies about Islamic finance calls out KFH's use of RippleNet. Okay, here is the journal. I have it up here. This is from September of last year. I will link this in the description. A fairly lengthy paper here, about 25 pages. Luckily for us, the Wrath of Kahneman has highlighted some of the important parts here. So with regards to Al-Rajhi Bank, Al-Rajhi Bank, and the Kuwait Finance House, the KFH, using Ripple's blockchain solution for international transactions. Well, that was evaluated back in September of 2023. As we know, the country is very favorable to Ripple. That whole Middle Eastern region is using RippleNet technology and leveraging XRP for transactions. For what it's worth, he says Al-Rajhi also did a trial with Ripple a few years ago. KFH is in production, especially through Turkey. So I will link this in the description if you guys want to get to this article here. It's funny he mentions Turkey, because I also wanted to mention this, guys. The recent news coming out of Turkey specifically specifically with regards to a Ripple partner, BBVA Guarantee. Okay, this one courtesy of Mr. Mann here. And for those of you guys who do not remember or may not have been in the space at the time, back in 2020, BBVA, a user of Ripple fund transfer technology, has announced that this year Turkey will start using instant payments without IBAN, and BBVA will help to accomplish that. So BBVA, an integral part of this Ripple integration in Turkey. And yesterday, March the 11th, 2024, fingerprint supports Thales biometric payment cards are now launching in Turkey with Garanti BBVA. So teaming up with another company here, Garanti, BBVA is announcing their first biometric payment card rollout in Turkey. The launch marks Fingerprints and Thales' 11th commercial rollout globally for biometric payment cards. Beyond speed, security, and convenience, the biometric payment card integrates flawlessly with existing bank infrastructures and point-of-sale systems without requiring upgrades. The contactless biometric payment card has already been certified with major EMV payment schemes, and so with Fingerprints' proven biometric technology, the features of T-shaped sensors, or T2, and biometric payment software platform, alongside Thales' extensive capability to innovate and bring enhanced payment experiences, will now form part of Garante BBVA's customer offerings. So they are using Ripple technology, Ripple integrated BBVA guys, in order to do these fingerprint biometric payment cards and to implement that in Turkey through this partnership that is associated with Ripple. So an interesting new development here. I don't know. I haven't heard so much about the chips underneath one's skin. I know that came out a few years ago, but we have not really heard too much more about those payment chips. I guess maybe some people got scared off. Once you know more about the Great Reset, you kind of reevaluate your priorities. I don't know. I guess maybe this could be, the next step towards that. But biometric payment cards, fingerprint payments, now with Garanti BBVA, a Ripple partner. Interesting news there coming out of Turkey. Wanted to thank Mr. Mann for posting that. I also happen to see this guy's PayTM in talks with Access, Canara, Yes, and Kotak Mahindra to migrate PBBL merchant accounts. So guys, check this out. Several Ripple partners in talks here, okay? PayTM, Axis, Yes Bank, and Kotak Mahindra are all confirmed Ripple partners. So, the chances of this running on the XRP ledger, very, very high. So all these banks are front runners to partner with PayTM to migrate their merchant onboarded by the mobile payments firm through the troubled PayTM Payments Bank Limited. It, however, is not clear that one or all of these banks will migrate to the merchants from PPBL. Over 3 core merchants are using mobile payments from PayTM, run by 197 Communications Limited. PayTM Payments Limited acted as a payment service provider partner bank with OCL to onboard these merchants. The Reserve Bank of India, so another Ripple partner here now noted, which imposed restrictions on PPBL, allowed 197 communication merchants and unified payment interfaces, or UPI users, to continue using their handles, QR codes, and point-of-sale machines after March the 15th. So it does sound like there is a bit of a rejigging here in India, and many of these Ripple-enabled banks are now in talks to actually run this system. So they are not changing the back end, the infrastructure there. They are going to be using the XRP ledger and RippleNet for continued adoption of XRP. Here's a quote: "The documentation is happening. Different discussions are happening, and each of them is in a different stage. And whoever closes the deal will move forward with integration. It could happen this week." This is from a senior executive. That's what he was quoted as saying. On average, even if these merchants transact for nearly 25,000 rupees, I'm assuming that's rupees, a day, it is a big opportunity. This is from Kumar. He reportedly said that at press time, citing the RBI. He further said that risk cannot be shifted from one entity to another. So, guys, big news here in India, of course, considering they are very, very well-versed in RippleNet technology. A lot of these payment companies are already using RippleNet. It is no surprise that, PayTM has a link to Ripple. So does Access Bank. Yes, Kotak Mahindra as well. So 3 banks here vying for the opportunity to take on these payments, on top of which UPI and the Reserve Bank of India also does have their connections, and they are the ones making the final decisions there. So some great news there that I thought I'd share with you guys today. I also saw this, guys, more news coming from Ripple partner Finastra. Now, Jefferson Bank expands partnership with Ripple partner Finastra to boost its instant payment strategy. So, looking towards instant payments, of course, go with one of those trusted Ripple partners, in this case, Finastra, to do just that. So, the independent bank serving communities across Texas has selected Finastra as a payments as a service solution for its new instant payment services. The agile, resilient, cloud-based payment solution will help Jefferson Bank to efficiently deliver both RTP and TCH And FedNow services 24/7. So notice too, guys, they are mentioning FedNow, which also does have its Ripple connections, and that is to accommodate the rapidly growing volume of instant payment transactions. So they are integrating through Finastra, guys. Here's a quote. We have worked with Finastra for many years and deeply value the team's proven experience implementing instant payment services, not just in the United States, but across the globe. So I mentioned this in yesterday's video. The FedNow services looking to, or at least they were saying right at the beginning that they were looking to implement domestic payments, and domestic payments only for instant transfers. But as the months go on, I'm getting the sense now that FedNow is probably going to focus on cross-border transactions as well. This bank here is even saying, instant payments, not just for the United States, but across the globe. So my assumption is that they are probably making a deal with Finastra through FedNow to go live for payments across the globe, so cross-border payments. And hopefully at that point, they will be using XRP. Finastra Payments to Go gives us access to the same payment processing technology used by big banks, enabling us to provide our customers with state-of-the-art payment services in addition to the experience they have come to expect from us. So there you go. They're competing with the big banks, the exact thing that Ripple was set out to do, to democratize payments, to make it easier for the little guy to compete with the big service providers, to, basically eliminate the idea of Nostro and Vostro accounts. Those are a thing of the past now with RippleNet technology leveraging XRP for liquidity, and they are doing just that with Jefferson Bank. So some great news here coming out of Texas and Jefferson Bank leveraging Ripple partner Finastra to build on their cross-border payment solutions. Want to keep moving along, guys? You remember this from December of just this year? Remember when Monica Long said in 2024, crypto will break the speculative hype cycles that have defined the booms and busts for the industry since Bitcoin's invention before the next crypto summer? Yeah, that was Monica Long's prediction from December around Christmas time. We as an industry will break this cycle by paving the foundation for real-world utility at scale. So more things to be paying attention to when it comes to that idea that real-world utility will, in fact, be piled on top of the speculative bull run. Of course, the liquidity is what Ripple needs, and Monica Long said it back in December, on top of which we're getting announcements like the AMMs being released on March the 22nd. And, the price predictions are getting quite wild. If you guys didn't catch the video I did this morning, I will link it up here in the top right-hand corner. We are looking at specific price targets based on timelines now. And Blockbull did bring up his prediction, and it is uncanny how well those price predictions and the price pumps based on historic chart patterns actually do match up with events that we know are coming up in 2024. So real-world utility, is it on the table? A very interesting observation here, just going back, looking at what Ripple was saying a few months ago, and knowing now what we know today, things that make you go, on top of which David Schwartz did speak out on a challenging XRP question, this one courtesy of Ian Binns on Twitter. So he was discussing the AMMs, okay? In a recent development, David Schwartz, Chief Technology Officer at Ripple, addressed a challenging question regarding the nature of the XRP token and its potential for gradual appreciation. So, are we going to see XRP appreciate gradually, or are we going to see, boom, in the blink of an eye, XRP reach a price in which it can handle the volume of payments that it needs to handle, or rather not just payments, but utility that it needs to handle on the XRPL right away? I don't know if that's a $50 XRP or a $100 XRP. I don't know what that price would be, but David Schwartz does discuss concepts around this. I don't know if you guys remember back in 2019 when Mr. B XRP did meet David Schwartz at Swell. I do believe it was 2019 because it was before the pandemic. He did say, David Schwartz did talk about to him in a private conversation that the price of XRP cannot go up gradually. So it brings me back to that conversation that they had. And I'll see if I can find that video, and I will link it up here in the top right-hand corner for you. If you guys want to hear it from Mr. B, he did mention that David Schwartz said, boom, it basically has to move in the blink of an eye. And maybe now we're finding out how that is going to happen. So David Schwartz did post a tweet on this responding to Mr. HBAR's tweet. Can you maybe elaborate on exactly what you meant by gradual appreciation? This one courtesy of Mr. HBAR, because XRP doesn't look at all like something that gradually appreciates in price if you compare it to projects that are actually much more favored for speculation. So David responds down here, okay, here is a chart of Bitcoin over the past 12 years on a log scale. The long-term behavior is that of gradual appreciation. When evaluating things like AMMs or staking, I generally evaluate them as an alternative to long-term holding, which gives you this long-term gradual appreciation. So he is saying AMMs are going to be an alternative to the long-term HODL, as we all have been, used to. I guess, at this point. I realize that in the moment of a bull run or bear market, it doesn't feel like long-term gradual appreciation, and there's no guarantee that this is how any particular asset will look in the future. So basically giving us an answer here without really addressing the price at all. David Schwartz did respond to the address concerns raised by XRP's perceived lack of gradual appreciation compared to other speculative projects. He positioned AMMs and staking as alternatives to long-term holding, offering avenues for yield generation while acknowledging the inherent volatility of digital assets. So it is another mechanism that you can use to generate profit, yield profit through the volatility. But I mean, I'm still not 100% on these AMMs. And of course, that's just my personal decision. I'm not saying you should not do it. Of course, I'm not giving you any kind of financial advice here. The discourse around XRP's potential for passive income has intensified with the introduction of the XRPL's AMMs, prompting misconceptions amongst some investors regarding the nature of the DeFi products associated with it. And so David Schwartz was trying to clarify that. Although, he's not really committing. It doesn't sound like he's really committing to an answer here. Anyway, wanted to thank Ian Binns and, of course, Mr. Hubert and David Schwartz for commenting on that. Even just going back to the idea that, the real-world utility, i.e. the AMMs, that's going to be part of the real-world utility. That will be front and center, or at least we're assuming that based on what Ripple has been saying, and now based on what Brad Garlinghouse tweeted yesterday. BTC ETF volumes have been soaring, okay? This was from Brad Garlinghouse's Twitter account from just yesterday. We're due for a halving, and the broader crypto market is following BTC's lead, as it has historically been the case. That's always been the case, right? As someone who has experienced multiple cycles of crypto is back, it's imperative this bullishness goes hand in hand with real-world utility. Guys, remember, real-world utility. This was the theory I had from months ago. We could, in fact, see real-world utility when we see XRP really starting to pump, which kind of goes hand in hand with, the video I put out this morning with this idea that all these timelines now, these timelines are coinciding with the fractal pattern from back in 2017, 2018. Now, Brad Garlinghouse is saying, crypto is back. It is imperative. This bullishness goes hand in hand with real-world utility. That's the real and inevitable march of progress. And 24-hour crypto here says, if Brad likes this comment, I will get 589 tatted on me. Well, let's hope he gets it, because I do believe Brad Garlinghouse did, in fact, like his comment here. Let's just go back here and see. And did he? Oh, yeah, he did. He did. Not only that, he liked this follow-up comment here, too. So Brad Garlinghouse did, in fact, like the comment here. So perhaps a 589 tattoo on 24-hour crypto. But all joking aside, guys, these are real tweets that are coming out. Ian Binns also mentioning this. Brad Garlinghouse did like this tweet in response to Brad's tweet. The Kraken Exchange posted this. Buckle up. This year could get interesting. So are we going to see the XRP utility? Based on this bull run, did Brad confirm something? Remember back in 2018 when Brad said this?
From the get-go, Ripple has worked with regulators, and we have worked with regulated institutions like banks where there isn't regulatory uncertainty. And so we have found that part of the reason why XRP has performed well is because people realize, hey, wait a minute. Back to your question, is XRP the next Bitcoin? Back to your question, is XRP the next Bitcoin? If we work with the system to solve this problem, and we can solve that problem at scale, a problem measured in the trillions of dollars, then there's a lot of opportunity to create value in XRP.
A lot of opportunity to create value in XRP, but we do need to see it at scale. We do need to see that liquidity in the market. Are we there yet? Looks like we're getting very, very close, guys. Looks like Brad Garlinghouse is bullish on the real-world utility, and that only gets me thinking, how high can this price go by the end of 2024 into 2025? As of the time of this recording, XRP has just pumped back up past 70 cents. So this is just the beginning, but I don't think it's the end. That's just my opinion. But I want to hear what you guys think. And thank you so much, guys, for subscribing to the channel. We've reached 100,000 subscribers. And so I'm going to be giving away 2 Ledger Nanos in early April. If you're still not subscribed, though, please do subscribe to the channel. You will be eligible for the giveaway. I will know if you're subscribed or not. So please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.